16 sculptures that scare and amaze at the same time. Sculpture is one of the most beautiful types of art. It fascinates and makes people think about the fragility of this world. Brightside has chosen the best sculptures from around the world that you'd never be able to resist gazing at. We couldn't either. 16. The Bleeding Head, Worldwide. You can see the Bleeding Head sand sculpture by Guy Olivier Deveau on beaches around the world, as the artist often chooses to exhibit it at sand festivals. It does give us goosebumps. 15. The Death Kiss, Barcelona, Spain. The Death Kiss stands on the grave of a young man who died in the 1930s. The authorship is disputed to this day. There is a legend that this sculpture inspired Ingmar Bergman to create his famous movie The Seventh Seal. 14. Blue Mustang, Denver, USA. Blue Mustang, nicknamed Lucifer, is truly a dangerous piece of art. The stallion from Hull killed its creator, Luis Jimenez. During its transportation, the head fell off and injured the sculptor's leg artery. 13. Verity, Ilfracombe, UK. A 20-meter tall statue of a pregnant woman by Damien Hirst overlooks the Bristol Channel. If you look at it from the left, there is nothing unique about it. Yet the right side of the statue has a twist to it. You can see open muscles and a fetus inside. 12. Victor's Way Park, Company Wicklow, Ireland. Victor Langheld decided to open a park after his spiritual visit to India. According to Langheld, the statues are supposed to make people think about life and our purpose in it. 11. Crawling Babies, Prague, Czech Republic. David Cerny's statues of faceless giant babies not only crawl on Prague's television tower but also in Campus Park. 10. The Cloak of Conscience, Salzburg, Austria. The sculpture The Cloak of Conscience, representing the commander who killed Don Juan, sits at the south entrance to Salzburg Cathedral. The sculpture has twins all over different cities in Europe. 9. Upside-down statue of King Wenceslas riding a dead horse, Prague, Czech Republic. Yet another of David Cerny's creations, a parody to the monument of Saint Wenceslas in the heart of Prague. It was initially installed on the very same square where the original stands but was later transferred to the Lucerne shopping mall. 8. Hanging Boy, Ghent, Belgium. The sculptor of this gloomy and very strange piece of art hanging from one of the walls in Ghent is unknown. It gives us goosebumps just looking at it. 7. Statues in Stagliano Cemetery, Genoa, Italy. The Stagliano Cemetery in Genoa has existed since the middle of the 19th century, and the first burial took place in 1851. Since then, it is known to be a home for sculptures and statues. 6. La Recoleta Cemetery, Buenos Aires, Argentina. The famous Argentinian cemetery dates back to the first half of the 18th century. Many famous people of Argentina are buried there, along with some real pieces of art as statues installed there. 5. Man Hanging Out, Prague, Czech Republic. A statue dedicated to Sigmund Freud by David Cerny is hanging on a beam fixed to the roof of a house. It has become so popular that it toured Chicago and London. The funny part about it is that tourists believe it to be a sculpture of Vladimir Lenin. 4. Highgate Cemetery Statues, London, UK. Highgate Cemetery is very famous in London. It is believed to be the place where vampires hung out in the 1800s. They say that one of the graves belongs to Jack the Ripper himself. 3. Père Lachaise Cemetery, Paris, France. The Cemetery of Père Lachaise, or the East Cemetery, is a resting place for famous people like Oscar Wilde, Honore de Balzac, and Frédéric Chopin. The statues on the graves are so beautiful and mesmerizing that many tourists and Parisians come to visit it. 2. The St. Barthélemy statue, Milan, Italy. If you look at this statue from afar you won't notice anything weird about it. However, if you come closer, you will see that the cloak on the nude body is nothing but his own skin. 1. The Cimitero Monumentale, the Monumental Cemetery, Milan, Italy. Originally, only rich people could afford to rest at the Monumental Cemetery, erecting the most magnificent pieces of art as monuments on the graves. Today the cemetery works as a museum, where you can take a walk to see how the art of sculpture has evolved over the last century and a half.